Hey, what's up, stream keepers, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are very honored to have Dion and Joseph together with us, and we actually, in the last episode we talked a little bit more about progress in the hobby, and in this video we're gonna expand that discussion and share with you guys in terms of in the Singapore context, and of course Joseph will share from a Finland context, right? And before we go right into that topic today, I actually wanted to give a special shout out to Nick, who has in his comments below, in one of the videos that says that he really liked the video that's been created, the content that's been created, and one thing that he mentioned, he says, quote, no fancy intros and bullcrap, haha. So that's, I think, one of the most interesting comments that I've received. So special shout out to you, and continue to keep the breeding your streams. So diving right into this today's topic, I actually wanted to share with you guys a little bit more about progressing in the hobby and why is it so important. However, before we tell you the why of it is being so important, I think I want to let you guys hear firsthand from Dion in terms of why he thinks it is important to progress in the hobby and how he has developed himself in terms of his own stream breeding journey, um, and growing through that the entire end-to-end journey in that sense. So maybe Dion, you want to share with us more in terms of on why you do what you do, and what have you actually get out of it.
Okay. So in terms of progression, I think the first progression I did was moving into higher grade and higher difficulty streams like the boa. Uh, so I started off keeping many different kind of carabiner from like your crystal red, pure red line, your fancy tiger, low grade fancy tigers, and then stardust, galaxies. So I use those when I was keeping those species of shrimp as a learning experience to get the fundamentals right. I would say in terms of your tank parameters, how to keep them properly, how to make sure that they survive, and of course breed. So once I've gotten the basic fundamentals there, then I actually chose to move on to something with higher difficulty. So reason why I chose to move into boas is because I feel that um, the pattern and the colors, uh, they don't no two stream are alike lah. So they always look different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dion, I think maybe you can share with us on your journey from last year. When you had how many tanks you had and how many tanks you have now, and what drove you to that level, and what are you planning to do in the next 6 months. So I think that's something that we will be interested in learning and finding out from you.
Okay. So I think last year I had six six. I started with six tanks. Then I progressed to I think 8, 10, now 12. Yeah. Uh, more on the way.
More on the way. Yeah. So
9 more on the way.
9 more on the way.
Yeah.
Okay. And what
So
else? What else are you planning to do infrastructure wise? And why did you choose to expand that way instead of because I think a lot of people is struggling to understand why are you going from one tank to six tank and 6 to 12, and then so what is that thought process? Why are you doing it?
okay. So I think I did mention this in one of previous videos. So the reason why I chose to add more tanks is because of emergency backup. So in case one or two of my tanks have issues, I have somewhere else to house my shrimps while I rectify the problem. So if let's say I only have 6 tanks back in when we were like last year, if something were to go wrong in 2 of my tanks, that's like 1/3. Then I do not have any other place to house them, and the risk of them dying is very high. So while I have spare tanks, if I have spare tanks, I will be able to move them somewhere, and then I can really find the root of the problem, and then solve it so that I can make sure that the tank is okay, and then I can move them back. So coming in the next few months, I will be I am hoping to um, aircon you install aircon for the whole room so that I don't have to run my tanks on chiller and the access pipe. Reason is because number one, it's more stable to run the whole room aircon, so all the tanks will more or less be similar temperature. Whereas compared to now, if I'm running a chiller, my first tank and my last tank temperature difference is about 1 degrees to 1.5 degrees. So in terms of stability wise, I find that air conditioning the whole room will be more even so that I don't have to. There's one less thing for me to worry, which is the temperature.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing, Dion. I think that is very important for breeders or people who's into this hobby, just starting this hobby, to really understand your thought process in terms of why, the step-by-step progression in terms of the hobby, pushing you further into the next step, and why you are doing it. So now, I'm gonna switch over to Joseph in that sense, is because um, I'm not sure whether, Joseph, do you experience this in your country, where where stream keepers are starting the hobby, or maybe you can share a little bit of the background with us so that everybody knows, people in Singapore actually knows that what is actually happening in Finland.
Yeah, okay. So I could actually share a short background story how I ended up with shrimp as a shrimp keeper, and maybe then a shrimp hobbyist, and then now a shrimp breeder. So I started with fish and I started to breed them, but then I got my first shrimp. It was an orange sakura neocaridina. It was from a local shrimp keeper, and then I quite quickly noticed that the shrimps are the thing for me, that I really like them. And then I started to get a few other neocaridinas in the beginning. I got more tanks, and then I started to seek out more information, and that was maybe the first thing in Finland, that the information for shrimp keeping is not easily available. So I reached out to the YouTube videos and all the blogs that have been written, and maybe some European shrimp breeders to get more information. And then I started to get my first caridinas, and I maybe ended up in a situation that I wanted to get every shrimp, all kinds of different shrimps. And then I was successful breeding them. And then I actually met Ben also, I found online, and started to share information. I started to get more high grade shrimps, and also be successful with them. And now maybe I'm in the situation that I want to focus more on the high grade shrimps and how to advance with them, and learn more from the hobby from that point of view. And then the information part has been kind of a long journey. It takes like 5 years back when I started, and now I'm at this point. And I think many people in Finland are now, maybe they could be switching from over fish keeping to shrimp keeping. They are getting their first shrimp, and then might be many who are getting their first tank, and many use small tanks, and they want to get their first shrimps. So there are a lot of shrimp keepers currently,
Okay.
I think.
Okay. So I think from a Finland perspective, the hobby is quite similar to the Hungary stream scene as well, because it is still relatively new and there are not a lot of people in the hobby. So I would really encourage those who are actually starting this hobby to reach out to people. So people are actually very friendly. If you reach out to them, they will definitely share as much as you can with them, and then certainly you get good content, good information in that sense, so that you will be able to get the real knowledge behind it, and then you'll be more successful in the hobby, and then you gain more confidence, and so that you can actually continue on breeding more and more streams. So uh, Joseph, do you have any other things that you want to share in terms of your Finland counterpart or Finland stream breeders or stream keepers? Um, do you want them to reach out? Who
Yeah.
do they reach out to? Do they reach out to you, or who should they reach out to?
Yeah. I don't have the full coverage
Okay.
that who has the shrimps and are there other shrimp breeders.
Yeah.
But if there are anyone who watches this video, so feel free to contact me,
Yeah.
and I'd be more than happy to share this information and learn from others as well.
Yep.
So it would be really nice to grow the community and have more shrimp hobbyists also.
Wow, that's awesome. That sounds like Transformers, Autobot and all this. It's yeah. So I think one of the similarities that we actually have in terms of the content wise, when I was when we were meeting the South African breeders as well and the Hungary breeders, we have that same kind of that connect, where we say that we are unable to reach out to everybody, we are unable to reach out to each and every one of you, but as long as you guys are very keen in the hobby and very passionate about learning the stream breeding and anything that is related to streams, feel free to reach out to us, because we can only reach out to so many of you, and it's we cannot reach out to everybody. However, if you are very keen in all this information, please feel free to reach out to us. You can find in the link in the comment section in the description below, Joseph, your website and your Facebook, so you can reach out to you in terms of trying to learn stream content. So it's not so much about where should we be getting streams and things like that, but I think the fundamental is very important. Having that knowledge behind what should you be doing in that sense will be more essential. So I think this is something that even in the Singapore context, we are also trying to get that out as well. And I think that's the reason why we have people like Dion, people like Desmond, where they can actually share their own experience as well once they have reached a certain level, where they'll be more comfortable to share with people who are new to the hobby. So we have good anchors, sharing this hobby together, because at the end of the day, this is still a hobby to most of us, right? I think at the end of the day, every one of us want to sit down and enjoy the hobby, and we create that ecosystem of positivity, where we can have open and transparent communication in terms of what kind of streams, what kind of setup we are using, and we are not really comparing about or condemning about each other behind our backs and things like that. So I think that ecosystem has to be created fundamentally strong, and that will help to create a more friendlier community, to encourage people to come into the hobby rather than name callings and things like that. So I think that's something I would share from my side of things. So Dion, do you have anything that you want to share?
Whatever you just shared, just to add on, don't be afraid to fail. I mean, nobody is born to be like successful lah. Because from your mistakes you will learn how to improve, and then who knows, maybe you might be the one teaching the new joiners in the future.
Okay. Joseph, any last words before we close off?
Yeah, maybe it's to add there. So don't be afraid about mistakes, but don't be afraid about trying as well. So if you see nice shrimps and you would like to keep them, so you need to try first as well.
All right. thank you, Dion and Joseph. So thanks for stopping by today, and so thanks for watching this video. And if you have any comments, please remember to write the comments below. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and give a thumbs up to this video. And until next time, peace out.